Hey YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mogul. Today's video will be remaking Lil Uzi Vert's track, You Was Right, so let's get straight to it. First things first, let's go ahead and change this to 162 BPMs for our tempo. Going to create a 4-bar loop, and let's start working on that main ARP melody that is pretty much played throughout the entire track. So I'm going to go ahead and use a piano just to figure out the right notes, and then we're going to actually go ahead and design the actual sound that's heard in the track. So let's go ahead and just get down to the notes, and here we go. All right, that's good so far for the first bar. Let's go ahead and work on our second part here, our second bar. Just gonna copy those over and I'll just work with that. I think that's the progression. All right, so from there, let's just go ahead and duplicate that to the next 2 bars. And let's just go ahead and draw out the melody, and it's going to really bring out that sound that we hear in the track. So here we go. I think it's up here. All right, that sounds good. Let's move over to our latter part. I think we got it. Let's go ahead and just listen to it back, see if I forgot any notes. All right, so we got pretty much the melody down on point. Let's go ahead and reset this channel strip here and bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer. We're going to start doing some sound design right now. Where am I going? ES2 synthesizer. And we're going to work off of the default settings that come up in place here, but we're only going to be using one oscillator. Let's go ahead and turn all these off here. And I'm going to turn this number 1 here to a sine wave, and we get something like this. and already that sound is coming out. So the sound that's heard in the track is pretty much just a sine wave. I'm going to pull up the analog here to get a little bit more of an analog vibe. Sort of some detuning happening. Just going to pull up the cutoff a little bit. Add in a little bit of drive. Lower the volume a little bit here. I'm going to add in a little bit of chorus. Get that sounding nice and wide. Now let's go ahead and work on our ADSR. So I'm just going to pull down the sustain a little bit here. I'm going to pull down the release as well. Get that a little bit tighter. And maybe I'll push the attack up a little bit too. I'm going to pull, let's go ahead and hit unison on. Pull up the voices up as well. So that's pretty much our sound right there. Let's just go ahead and put on a quick delay here so kind of get it better sounding. I'm going to go to tape delay. I'm going to use a regular preset that I pretty much use on a lot of instruments. It's just my EDM delay. It's just a straight 1/8 note value with a feedback of 16%. Some of the lows are cut here and my wet value is only at 16%. So what that does is it gives it a slight delay. So here it is without and with. Just gives it some more movement. And now, of course, since the song is a little bit soaked in reverb on this sound, let's go ahead and bring in a nice reverb. I'm going to go to reverb. I'm going to bring in Space Designer this time. And let's just look for a large space here. Let's put a spring verb on and let's just cycle through some. Let's use that one, it has a cool little ring to it. Alright, so now that we got our main melody down, let's go ahead and work on the 808. Alright, so I'm going to create a new software instrument track. And I'm going to bring in Logic's ES2 synthesizer as well for the 808, and we're going to bring in that preset that we use in a lot of our remakes, the 808. Once again, you can find this in if you want to learn how to do this 808 from scratch, you can click the card in the top right hand corner and it can take you to learn how to create this 808 yourself, but we're just going to be working with this one for now. I'm going to create a nice 4-bar region and we're going to draw in our 808. Let's go to a nice low octave. And let's just draw in our 808 pattern, and it's pretty much a simple one for this one. That's pretty much it, and it gets looped throughout the entire track. Let's just go ahead and adjust some parameters here in our 808 preset. Just going to bring down the sustain a little bit. Don't need it to ring out for so long. Maybe drop the release as well. I'm going to bring up the drive a little bit. Maybe add a little distortion as well. that sounds pretty good. Next thing that we're going to do is put in the drums. So let's get to that. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. I'm going to bring in Logic's EXS24 sampler instrument. And we're using this one because I created sort of a drum kit for this tutorial. And that's the Lil Uzi Vert, You Was Right. It's got some samples in it. So let's go ahead and start drawing out our drums. Ooh. Let's go ahead and find where they are here. So let's start off with our kick. So it pretty much just follows the pattern of our 808. Let me just get rid of this so you can see everything in one window. Let's put in that snare. That's sort of classic Metro Boomin snare. Put in the hi-hats. I'm just going to pretty much put the hi-hats here on the ones. And downbeats. But we're going to do some stutters at certain points. So here's going to be a stutter. And here's going to be a stutter as well. Let's go put in that clap. And that's pretty much our drums right there. That's pretty much the whole entire beat, but we got to go ahead and put one more thing in. So let's get to it. So let's just quickly go ahead and just arrange this as heard in the original track. So everything plays out at the beginning for about 8 bars. And we're going to put in those Metro Boomin tags. So let's go ahead and bring the first one in here. The Young Metro Don't Trust Ya. And then we're going to bring in the second one, Metro Boomin Want Some More, over here. And we get something like this. And just to get that in the track, a little bit more in the track feeling, we're going to bring in a delay. Well, let's put in an echo here. Let's change it to a quarter note value. And we're just going to get it to delay a little bit. Let's lower the feedback. And the wetness value to about 15-ish. Just gives you that echo, so it kind of feels more in the track because it is a sampled from some of his songs. And then if we just go ahead and arrange this a little bit, so after that, the 808s kind of drops. Just bring this here. The 808s kind of drops. The kicks also drop. Let's take out the kick, and then this sort of little open hat comes into place. So I go ahead and just start bringing in some of those open hats here. The next one is over here. that's pretty much the track. I mean, you could go listen to the track and arrange it yourself, but you do have all the pieces and elements that are involved with that track. So if we just go ahead and play it out from the beginning, we get the Lil Uzi Vert "You Was Right" track.
Metro Boomin want some more, nigga.
So that is Lil Uzi Vert's track "You Was Right" remade in Logic. For you Logic users out there, I'm gonna go ahead and save this entire session, place that as a link in the description box below. For you non-Logic users out there, I'm gonna go ahead and export all these MIDI stems. So you got the melody, the 808, the drums, all sorted out in MIDI. Drag that into your own DAW with your own samples and sounds, and you're good to go for the remake in your own DAW of choice. If you have a question on this, you can ask me in the comment section below. And for more good videos like this one, remember to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Talk to y'all soon. Later. Peace.